Calling this conference committee meeting to order. Today is Monday, April 19th, 2021. It's 1:35 p.m. and we're in conference room 325 at the state capitol. The first item, the conferees in the House include myself and Rep. Yamashita as co-chairs and Rep. Ward as manager.
Mahalo. And on the Senate, we have myself, Senator Shimabukuro, co-chair Kanuha, and member English.
Thank you. Okay, so we have two amendments that we would like to make. One is to add back the $80 million in the SPURB funding, and then we want to perfect the date.
Yes. And as far as I know, I mean, that's just going back to the original. So I don't know who is here from WHAM. I guess that would be Kanuha, Chair Kanuha, yeah? Or if, is there any WHAM staff that's here? No? Okay. Yeah, so I guess on this one, I mean, we're just going back to the original version of the bill. And so I think that hopefully is going to be fine with Senate side. But I don't have clearance yet, as far as I know, from WHAM. And so I guess we need to reconvene.
Sounds good.
So I don't know if tomorrow 1:30 or Wednesday 1:30 works for you folks?
Yeah, that would be fine. You want to just go for tomorrow at 1:30?
Yeah, we can hope that by tomorrow, maybe we'll have approval. And then we need to find out, Eric, from WHAM, do they need a CD1 or can we just vote on, we're just saying we're going back to the original version? So if you can check with Josh at WHAM. Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow, that would be April 20th at 1:30. Yeah? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then next we have SB 1412. This is relating to SPURBs for the Honokia Surf Village. For the Senate, it's myself, Senator Shimabukuro, co-chair Kanuha, and members Wakai and Favela.
And for the House, it is Quinlan and Holt as co-chairs and Okimoto
CD1. Yeah.
Okimoto as a manager.
Okay. And so on this, we have a proposed CD1 that we're going to circulate to all the members of all the conferees. And so we got communication over the weekend from the proponents of this measure that they'd like to have an increase to 150 million in SPURBs. And that was in talking to their investors. And so we're hoping that Finn and WHAM can approve this or consider it. So we know that WHAM staff is aware. And so we sent the CD1 to them, and then they're going to talk it over with finance.
Great.
So
Want to come back tomorrow at 1:45 p.m.?
1:45? Okay, sure. So
Sounds
tomorrow, 1:45.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so 4:20, 1:45. Okay, then we have, next is SB 1409. This is training for Native Hawaiian rights. For the Senate, it's myself, Senator Shimabukuro, co-chair Rhodes, and then Senators Ocasio and Favela as members.
Okay, for the House, it's Nakashima and Cullen, co-chairs, Takumi and Ward members.
Thank you. So conferees, I mean, we've received communication from OHA and DLNR about this measure. OHA feels quite strongly that they'd like to stick to the way the bill is written. They have a few tweaks that they want to see. They want to see a delayed start date to April 1, 2022. And then they have some language about intellectual property. Recordings available to council, board, and commission members identified in section 10-41A who have not yet satisfied the training requirement in this section who are unable to attend. And for OHA, I checked with them, and they do not want to agree to these amendments the DLNR is requesting. It's sent on April 16, and they really want the commission members to attend in person. And so even though the bill is asking OHA to record these sessions, OHA doesn't want that to count, to satisfy. They're just saying that would just be, I guess, be a refresher. And so, I'd like to try to support OHA. I don't know how the House feels or how other members feel about that. I don't know. Do you have any inclination on that, on the House side?
Having attended the session, I'm not sure that watching it on video or in person is that much of a difference, because there's no interaction really between the viewers and the presenters.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's just the transfer of knowledge that can be done by videotape, and there are ways to ensure that people are watching it, there is technology available to ensure that, well, maybe they're not watching it, but somebody is sitting,
Yeah.
there, that is sitting there playing, right? But if they're not going to go with the videotaping, then I think the requirement that they be removed from the board is rather drastic, because we already have a difficult enough time filling the positions, and so if it becomes a revolving door where they're just getting thrown off the board because they don't meet the requirement, then that's also difficult. So we're trying to find a way to meet the requirement,
Yeah.
and not be at a specific date and time for it to happen.
And then I'm also concerned about the bill being vetoed, because if DLNR feels this strongly about it and we pass it as is or with these amendments from OHA, then there's a high likelihood it's going to be vetoed.
Yeah.
So, okay, so is your inclination to at least to allow the recordings to count as satisfying the training?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So what about, and so would that be maybe a compromise that we include OHA's amendments that they sent on April 16, but with that we say, but however, watching a recording session will count as as satisfying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about, then DLNR had a bunch of other things they wanted. I mean, those things, OHA said if we put all those things in, then that'll take away the whole purpose of the bill.
Yeah, I think that OHA and DLNR are the two extremes on this. And so if we, I think if we compromise on the fact that you can watch the recording of it, hopefully it'll clear up the other bits where they want just removal of the people, right? 'Cause
Okay.
watching the recording is not as much of a commitment as making a specific date and time.
Okay, but you still agree with saying that if you don't satisfy the requirement, though, you can't vote and you can be removed and you have 2 years to meet the requirement. I'll keep all that stuff in.
You think?
Oh, hello, and perfect. Co-chair. So, Co-chair, we're talking about 1409, and, one of the things I think that House and Senate are looking at agreeing to is having the recordings count. If you watch a recorded version of the training, that will count as satisfying the requirement, which OHA doesn't like that, but DLNR is pushing for that, and we're kind of inclined to agree with the DLNR on that point.
Yeah, so I think that we would agree with we would agree that the recording would count, and but keep in the penalties if they don't make the effort.
Okay, I think that's a good middle ground. I don't know how you folks feel, or maybe I'll check with Chair Rhodes. Co-chair, is that
Sure.
okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Member Ocasio, did you have any thoughts on this? Okay. So in that case, I think we are the same meeting of the mind. So I don't know if SMA is here, but I guess Eric, if you can have SMA draft this CD1, and we're going to include OHA's recommended amendments on the April 16 memo. Hope that's okay with you. It's kind of technical, and it was like they want to delay the start date. And my understanding, this other amendment was kind of technical in nature. But then we also want to adopt DLNR's amendment that just says that attending a recording session will count as meeting the training requirement. So I can go over that with you, Eric, later. But so we'll work on the CD1, and then get that to you. And then, did you want to meet? What's a good time? Tomorrow or Wednesday?
Will the draft be ready by tomorrow?
Hopefully. SMA has been pretty quick.
Okay.
Yes, Chair, it can be ready by tomorrow.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
So shall we come back at 1:30 tomorrow?
Sure, okay, let's do that. April 20, 1:30. Thank you. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, and then finally, SB 696 is relating to the Festival Pacific Arts. And for the Senate, we have myself, Senator Shimabukuro, Co-Chair Rhodes, and we have Member English.
For the House, we have Representative Gates, Representative Cullen as co-chairs, Har and Ward as members.
Mahalo. And so for this bill, as far as I can tell, all we need to do is fix the flawed date, I believe, right? And I think
Correct.
it's pretty much, it's got all support. Okay, so if that's something that the House can agree to, and everyone is okay, Chair Rhodes, okay with that, then we can go ahead and prepare a CD1.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so great. So Alyssa, if you can prepare a CD1 for SB 696, just fixing the flawed date. And then
Yes, Chair.
we do need Finn approval on this one.
Correct.
Yeah. So do we have Finn clearance?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. So what do you think? Should we do tomorrow or Wednesday?
Could probably do Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday, yeah,
Yeah.
give some time. Okay, so that would be, what, April 21? Same time, 1:30?
Let me triple check. Yep, 1:30 works for me.
1:30, okay. Great. Okay, with no further business, we are adjourned.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
We are convening the agenda for HB 177, HD1, SD1 relating to sexual assault. It is Monday, April 19th at 2 p.m. in conference room 325. Here on behalf of the House, we have myself as chair, Representatives Takumi, Todd, and Ward as members.
Thank you. For the Senate on HB 177, I'm chair. Senator Ke'o Kalole is with us virtually, and Senator Favela, I can't see because my glasses are fogging up. I don't see him. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we are on the House side. We are amenable to the Senate version SD1 with an effective date, and we need to make also some technical, not substantive amendments for the purposes of clarity, consistency, and style, mostly just formatting matter.
Okay. What date did you want to pick? Upon approval, is that okay?
I think on approval for this.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
Okay. I will then take the vote. Recommendation of the House and Senate is to pass with amendments. Chair votes aye. Representative Takumi?
Aye.
Representative Todd?
Aye.
Representative Ward?
Aye.
Okay. And Senator, may I take the vote?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Senator Rhodes?
Aye.
Senator Ke'o Kalole?
Aye.
Senator Favela?
Dedication and your leadership with Finn and all of your staff and all the ways that
Mission adopted.
Thank you.
Adjourned.
Okay, welcome everyone to the 215 conference with mainly with House Judiciary and Senate Judiciary. First up, we have SB 157 relating to marriage licenses. For the Senate, it's myself, Chair, Lee, and Favela as managers.
Yeah, on the part of the House, myself as chair, Representative Todd and ward managers.
So I did have some questions on this one. Find them. I think the House put in a fee for getting a license to solemnize marriages by anyone over 18. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want that to apply to situations where the person doing the solemnization is not doing the solemnization for money? Like if it's just a friend who's marrying a couple, and that's probably the only person she will ever solemnize, and it's not a business forum?
We are not contemplated that, but how would we determine whether or not they were doing it for pay or not?
I suppose you'd have to give proof of not having a GET license. I don't know. I guess the thing I worry about is that, at least the way I read the bill initially, was that it was a way for friends to solemnize marriages for their friends. But I guess I should just ask the author, what was your thoughts on that, Senator Lee, in terms of 157 on the solemnization bill?
Yeah, the intent was to allow, I think, other people, both friends, but also anybody else to be able to appropriately solemnize at the request of whoever it might be.
I guess the thought of the House was that, marriage is a big business in Hawaii. And so if someone is going to make a living out of it, there should be some share for the state.
Okay. Well, I mean, I suppose it could be as simple as just checking off when you get your solemnization license, saying whether you take people at their word and say that they're not
doing it for money.
Not doing it for money, and if somebody gets caught, then I suppose that would require a penalty somewhere.
Yeah, I think we could go for that.
Okay. Okay, so we'll see if we can come up with some language on that part of it. The other part that we weren't quite sure, so I think the House language is a civil license to solemnize marriages may be issued to any individual at least 18 years of age, and the marriage rite may be performed and solemnized by the individual upon presentation of a license to marry as prescribed by this chapter. I think I know what you mean. So that means if the couple got the marriage license, they give it to the person who's going to solemnize, and then they can marry them.
Yes.
If you're okay with it, we'll try to while we're putting together language on the pay or not pay, we'll try to just make that more explicit, because it wasn't all that clear to me when I read it.
Okay.
And then there was one other issue. This language is in the statute already, but I think maybe we should update it a little bit. 57212A. So a person or society licensed to solemnize a marriage may receive the price stipulated by the parties or the gratification tendered. And the gratification tendered part was, I think it means like related to a gratuity, but it just sounds funny. So if it's all right, we'll try to tinker with that too, to sort of bring it up to date.
That'll be fine.
Okay. So we'll try to put together a draft. I guess this is an SB anyway. Yeah. And go from there if that's okay.
Yes.
You want to roll till tomorrow?
Okay.
3:10, is that okay?
Ten PM?
Yeah.
Okay.
In this room, 325. Okay, that's one. Let's see, next up we have SB 159 for this, and this is relating to voting, automatic voter registration. For the Senate, it's myself as chair and Lee and Favela as members. Managers.
For the House, it's myself and Cullen co-chair as ward manager.
Okay. I think on this one, your language was to make it an opt-in instead of an opt-out. Is that correct?
Yes, the desire is to have it as an opt-in as opposed to an opt-out.
Okay. But the opt-in would be in the application process, you would actually have to check one or the other. There's a forced question there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can live with that. I would, of course, there's a second part to this with regard to when you're updating your license. If you already have a license and you're just going in to renew it, can we have the, could we make the renewal part of it an opt-out so that you automatically updated your address and personal information to go to the Office of Elections? Mm-hmm. Since you've already made the commitment to vote, instead of having that an opt-out as well, I mean, an opt-in as well.
Okay.
So, okay.
So the second time around, well, there is a chance that someone who is changing their address had not necessarily had the opportunity to opt in the first time.
Right. No, we were thinking that if the person had already registered to vote, then we wouldn't give them we'd give them the option of opting out and saying we don't want our updated information to go to the Office of Elections. I don't know why you would do that, but people do funny things sometimes. Mm-hmm. But so there would have to be like sort of a checkoff that said, are you registered to vote already? Yes. Please update your information unless you don't want to. and then there would be another question that would say, if you're not registered to vote, would you like to register to vote?
Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, so we'll put together a draft doing that. And that was all. Anything else on that one? No, good. Oh, yeah. Effective upon approval?
Yes.
Okay. And shall we roll that one to 3:10 tomorrow too?
Okay.
Okay. Same room here, 325. Okay. And I'm really starting to hate this mask because I can't see anything with the mask on. Okay, next up we have SB 189 relating to dog bites. For the Senate, it's myself as chair and Lee and Favela as managers.
On the part of the House, it's myself as chair, Todd and Ward as managers.
Okay, thank you. On this one, I think the only difference is a defective date. So I would propose that we just make it effective upon approval.
That would be fine.
Do you want, I think this is JHA JDC single. So if you want to vote today, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
I do need a vote sheet though.
Yeah, my managers are here.
Thank you. Okay, so on SB 189 having to do with dog bites, we will put an effective date of effective upon approval on it. And so it's a CD1. I will vote yes. Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Favela, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Would you like to vote on SB 189? The dog bite. Sorry.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, take the vote for the House.
Please.
Chair Nakashima,
Aye.
Manager Todd. Manager Ward. Oh, we got a bill. Yay.
Yes.
You want to carry this around to Chair Nakashima? Thanks. Okay, next up is SB 294, and I guess I need to look straight in front of me instead of slightly to the left. For the Senate, it's myself as chair, Lee and Favela as managers. This is, I'm sorry, relating to property, civil asset forfeiture.
Or property forfeiture. Yep.
Yes.
On the House side, it's myself and Representative Cullen as co-chairs and Representative Ward as manager.
So I think we are still discussing what the best way forward on this is. Do you want to roll this till tomorrow at 3:10? Is that okay?
Yep, that sounds good.
Great. 3:10 in room 325. Okay, next up is SB 385. This is relating to Uniform Trust Code. For the Senate, it's myself, Chair Ocasio, and Favela as managers.
And on behalf of the House, we have myself, Representatives Johansson and Martin as co-chairs, and Representatives Dale Kobayashi and Ward as managers.
Thank you. Let me just check and see what differences are. Yeah, it's just an effective date difference. So I guess I would suggest making it effective on January 1st, 2022. You guys have a finance referral?
Yeah. I think there's also another change with page 144, line 16 through page 118, line 4. At least we have that here. The Senate made confirming amendments to sections 567-305 and 567-501. But those are kind of obviated. So as long as we can take the House version of that, I don't think it's really necessary to add those since the Senate version deletes those sections anyway.
Okay, I think that all makes sense. But since we can't, you don't have finance approval, I'm assuming.
No, I just asked, but I don't think we have it yet. Okay. So we can roll it back anyway.
So why don't we roll till 3:10 tomorrow?
Sounds good.
Okay. And tomorrow in this room, 325. Actually, maybe we could ask your office about the specific lines again. I don't have that in my notes at the moment, but
yep, we'll have that sent over to you.
We may have it. Okay, moving on. HB 412 relating to operating a vehicle under the influence of intoxicants. For the Senate, it's myself as chair, Lee, and Senators Lee and Favela as managers.
All right. On the House side, we've got myself and Representative Martin as co-chairs and Representative Ward as manager.
Thank you. We have, let's see. So let me just be sure I'm understanding your amendment. So you have some language in 291E15 about refusal to submit to breath, blood, or urine tests subject to administrative revocation hearings by allowing law enforcement officers to seek a warrant to submit defendant to the test regardless of consent. And well, I guess the first question is, they can't do that already? You can't just get a warrant and ask for blood to be drawn?
Apparently not. I think there was an issue with it. I think there was a Maui case that a Maui judge's ruling that was at issue here. It was part of HB 1379. So that language was rolled into this bill to just kind of combine the two. But I know there was an issue before with whether you could get a search warrant for this under the current statute. This is just kind of a clarification. Like you said, I think everyone assumed that it was already okay, but a recent judge's ruling put that into question. So this is just kind of clarifying that.
Okay.
By the request of the prosecutor's office.
Let us take a look at that over. You have a finance referral anyway, but
Yep.
If it's okay, we'll roll it to 310 and we'll think about that overnight.
Yep, sounds good. And I can get you the testimony from the prosecutor's office explaining it if you'd like.
We can look it up. Thank you.
Sounds good.
So that'll be 310 tomorrow and room 325. That brings us to SB 413 relating to violation of privacy. For this one, Carl Rhodes chair, Mike Gabbard is manager, and Senator Kim is a manager.
For this matter, I have myself as chair, Representatives Todd and Ward as managers.
So it's just an effective date difference, I guess. I think I'm okay with the substance of the bill. Let's see.
Yeah, likewise, we're okay with an effective date. I believe that's the only substantive, that's the only change or only difference.
Let's see if I have Gabbard or. Yeah, so we have both. Okay, thank you, Senator Gabbard and Kim, for being here. Yeah, we're ready to vote then, I guess, if you are.
Yes, we are ready to vote.
Okay, great. So on SB 413 relating to violation of privacy, the CD will be making it effective upon approval. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay, making it effective upon approval. So we have a CD1. I will vote yes. Senator Gabbard.
Aye.
Senator Kim.
Aye.
Thank you. Gosh, should I take the vote for the House, please? Chair Matayoshi.
Aye.
Representative Todd.
Aye.
Representative Ward.
Aye.
Okay, got a bill. Another bill.
We are so efficient.
Martin.
All right, next up is SB 548. This is a cleanup bill for the elections by mail law that we went into effect last election. Senator Lee and I were pretty sure it was perfect, but apparently not. So for the Senate, it's myself as chair and Senator Lee and Favela as managers.
For the House, it's myself and Colin co-chairs. Ward is a manager.
Okay, so there were some differences. I don't know. If you wanted to more time to consider the Senate draft, or would you prefer or do you want to go difference by difference and see where we're at?
Going through it, box 1 and 2.
No, hang on. I'm not looking at boxes. Just a second. Okay.
Box 1 and 2, it's basically introductory, and so I have no strong feelings on it. On 3 and 4, I think we do prefer the house version. On 6 and 7, also I prefer the house version. On on box 9, the Senate version. And then 11, 14, 15, 16 house.
Sorry, say that again. 11, 13, 16.
11, 14, 15, 16.
14.
Oh yeah, 13 as well.
Okay. Okay. Well, let us look at that suggestion overnight and see if we can live with that. We'll just go through it on a sort of a different basis. The voter service center requirement that we had in the Senate, I think you guys did not want to do.
Yeah, I don't think we want to be that specific. However, if you want to return to the specificity, then I don't think the House would have an objection to that.
Okay. That was, yeah, well, okay. Oops, I'm sorry. Right there. Let us, yeah, okay. The other, well, it's a real technical question, but the end of the time where the voting must end. So I think traditionally it's been the closing hour of voting, but it seemed to us that saying the closing hour was not very specific. It was like an hour. So when does it actually end?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we put in the 7 p.m. date.
Okay.
So I don't know. I suppose you could argue that the closing hour means 7 p.m. because that's the closing hour. But I would prefer to have the closing like second. So when we're done, and that's it. We'd have to argue about
and still whoever's in line
right
continues to get to the vote.
Right. Yeah. No, that definition doesn't affect the standing in line part.
Okay.
You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So you're okay with the electronic submission of ballots?
Yeah, there was a opposition from Common Cause on any electronic transmission.
Yeah.
But having seen the other, heard the other side regarding opportunities for the disabled and handicapped, I don't think we can deny the fact that we need to make voting as accessible as possible to those folks as well.
Okay. Yeah, and we already allow it anyway, so I'm not sure it's that big a deal. Okay, so I think I understand where you're at, and we'll see. We'll try to, if it's acceptable, if your proposal is acceptable, we'll put it in the draft form and try to have it the next time we meet, or as soon as we can. I don't know if it'll be the next time we meet or not.
Okay, thank you.
So let's go ahead and roll this one over to 3:10 tomorrow too, as well. 3:10 p.m. and room 325. All right. Next up is SB 726 for the relating to policing no-knock warrants. For the Senate's myself and the managers Lee and Favela.
And let's see. For the House, it's myself and Todd. Myself as chair, Todd and Ward managers.
Okay, yeah, we're still kind of, the bill, I believe the Senate version of the bill has a 30-second minimum for how long you have to wait after you've announced that it's the police. So it's a difficult question. Can we just roll this over till 3:10 unless there's some other specific concern you have about it? Okay.
Well, we can move it over.
And we'll see if we can either put together a draft or discuss it further tomorrow.
Okay.
3:10 p.m. in this room, 3:25. Okay. Next up is SB 828, relating to divorce. The Senate, it's myself as chair, Ocasio and Favela as managers.
Afternoon, Chair. For the House, it's myself and Rep. Cullen as co-chairs and Takumi Ward as managers.
It looks like the only difference is a date. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you think, on approval or?
The judiciary asked us to make it January 1, 2022,
January 1, 2022.
so they
Okay.
could update their forms.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, you have Ben sign off yet?
Not yet.
No. Okay. Shall we roll till 3:10 tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay. You're in room 325. Okay, next up is SB 1039. This is making claims against the state. For the Senate, it's myself as chair, Keith Agaron as co-chair, and Favela as manager.
Other House, it's myself and Representative Luke as co-chairs and Representative Ward as manager.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. Do we have any new claims? Does anybody know there are new claims? Okay. Oh, okay. Unless there are objections, I would just go ahead and put in the new claims in a draft. And I probably, assuming we have to wait till the very end on this one to see about money and stuff. Senator Keith Agaron, I'm assuming we don't have WAM clearance at this point. Okay. So let's just go ahead and roll this till tomorrow with everything else.
Okay.
3:25. I mean, 3:10 p.m. in room 325. That brings us to SB 1260, relating to criminal pretrial reform. For the Senate, it's myself as chair, Gail Kaloli as manager, and Favela as manager.
For the House, it's myself and Cullen as co-chairs and Ward as manager.
I think we were working on a draft on this one. No, we need to work on a draft on this one. I don't know if there's any real sticking points other than that last, the section, I think it's page 4, line 10. This section shall neither preclude law enforcement from setting an initial bail before arraignment, nor prevent a court from determining bail or conditions of release at arraignment should an initial bail be set by law enforcement. It sort of feels like that cancels out the, no, that's a horrible word to use these days. makes the rest of the bill a moot point, but maybe I'm reading it wrong. And also, I was not sure, does law enforcement set the bail? I thought that happened later in the process.
If you allow my
Sure,
committee
sure.
vice chair an explanation.
So we included that language because bail is sometimes set by the police officer, their arresting officers at the station, just so you don't have to hold them over. But it can also be set in this situation by a judge later at arraignment. We just didn't want to preclude the judge from making a decision if the person already got off on bail immediately after the arrest at the police station. So we want to give the judge the prerogative to override if necessary and set a new bail, or we wanted to allow an earlier release if possible at the police station if the officer so decided. So
Okay,
that was the explanation for that.
That part of it that explains that part of it. But then the section shall neither preclude. I mean, I would have thought this whole bill would have precluded them setting bail anywhere along the stage for those certain the specific crimes that are mentioned. I mean, that's the whole point, right? You don't get to set bail for traffic offenses, violations, nonviolent petty misdemeanors, and misdemeanor offenses with certain exceptions. So how would the police officer get to set bail? It just seems like they're headed in an opposite direction.
I don't have the bill in front of me, so it's hard for me to, but I can talk to you after if you'd like.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and roll this one till tomorrow to 3:10 p.m. and this from 3:25 Tuesday, whatever date that is, 20th. Oh, it's payday. Yeah. Reduced payday, I should say. All right, that's it for the 2:15 agenda, I believe. I'm missing bills, did I? I don't think so. So yeah, we're done with 2:15. All right, welcome everyone to the 2:45 conference agenda with government operations. I don't even know what the name of your committee is. Sorry, Chair.
Well, sometimes we wonder.
Yeah.
It's government reform.
Government reform. Okay. Government reform and judiciary here in the Senate. The first bill we have up today is SB 200, relating to elections, about late contribution reports. For the Senate, myself as chair, Lee as manager, Favela as manager.
Thank you. On behalf of the House, we have, McKelvey Nakashima co-chairs, Lopresti Ward, and Lopresti is excused.
Okay, on 100. Difference is,
This is the candidate the late contribution report before the election, if their name appears on the ballot.
right.
This is one we talked about, remember, and now that we understand things better in our discussions, we were basically willing to go back to the Senate position of the clean date.
Okay.
So,
Let's see, you guys have did you want to vote on it today, or do you want to just do them all?
my illustrious co-chair here, if he's comfortable, we can do it now. Yep, sounds like he's ready to go.
So, Senate position with effective upon approval?
It's a fiscal bill, right? So yeah, effective upon approval.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
All right. Please do.
Okay, voting on SB 200, Senate position and upon approval. I'll vote yes. Senator Lee?
Aye.
And Senator Favela?
Aye.
Thank you. Shall I take the vote for the House?
I would be honored.
For Chair McKelvey?
Aye.
Co-Chair Nakashima?
Aye.
Representative Presti is excused, and Representative Ward. Okay. Okay, have a bill.
Okay. Yay.
You can't really throw things across the table.
I know, no more tossing the CDs anymore.
A paper airplane or something.
Yeah, those are the days.
Okay, next up is SB 399. This is relating to orders of the Campaign Spending Commission. Senate on SB 399 is myself as chair, Manager Lee, and Manager Favela.
Okay, House, McKelvey, Matayoshi, co-chairs will press the Ward.
Okay, on 399. So I think our difference on this was whether these judgments should be, the judgment that comes out of the administrative process should be appealable or not. My understanding is that any appeal that you would make out of the administrative process would go, I think it goes into circuit court, but that would happen before the judgment was final. If you were going to appeal, you would do it sooner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if that's your understanding too, and
that is my understanding. I think at that point the only thing left was, we talked about the number of days, as well as 20 days. We talked about 30.
Oh, for the
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think.
I think you were fine with that when we discussed it earlier.
I think 30 should. I think I'm okay with 30. I don't think that messes anything else up. I don't know. Any opinions on whether that messes?
For the slow people out there in the world, we need more time.
And the person fails to request a contested case hearing within 30 days of receipt of the preliminary determination. Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, so when we discussed that earlier, it seemed to be the thing with a clean date, obviously, and any tech amendments our staff may find.
Okay. So then the proposal would be extending the time frame to appeal to 30 days, make the judgments that come out of the administrative process unappealable. It's just a judgment.
Correct.
And then make it effective upon approval?
Upon approval, because it's not a fiscal bill yet. Yeah.
Okay, I think we can live with that.
Let's see. Co-chair, are you comfortable with maybe voting on this now? You want to vote on this one now too?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, we're here. Why not?
Okay.
Okay, Senator. pitch away.
Let me find the right vote sheet here. Okay, on SB 399, extending the hearing, the time to file a contested case hearing to 30 days from 20, putting back in the Senate language on the finality of judgments and effective upon approval.
Yep.
Okay, I'll vote yes. Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Great. Can I take the vote for the House?
Yes, please, sir.
Chair McKelvey.
Aye.
Co-Chair Matayoshi.
Aye.
Representative Lepresti is excused, and Representative Ward. Okay, great, thank you. Have a bill.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks.
Oh.
Okay, next up on this agenda is SB 400 relating to campaign finance reports. For the Senate's myself as chair, Lee as manager, Favela as manager.
Okay, behalf of the House, McKelvey, Matayoshi, co-chairs, and Wahlberger. Managers Todd Ward.
You guys look like,
So this one's the one that clarifies the increased fines may apply if a candidate committee or non-candidate committee fail to timely file the preliminary, primary, or preliminary general report due 10 days before the primary. I think this is the one that just
we talked about this, and I think our conversation kind of just fell mostly upon perhaps considering a longer time period for non-candidate committees beyond the 10. It's blank right now. The 10 days is blank, but I think you were just going to mull that around.
Okay.
It has to have finance release anyway on that side.
Okay.
So
okay. Why don't we? Yeah, we'll mull some more on that one. So you're thinking because of the vote by mail that it makes sense to push it farther in front of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Okay.
toss it around. You know, it's got to have a money committee release on our end. So
Okay.
You want to check in on Wednesday?
Sure. How about, I don't know, let's get down on Wednesday.
45.
2:45 again, 2:45.
Yeah.
2:45 on Wednesday, the 21st.
So much, sir.
In this room, 325. Okay. That brings us to 402 relating to reimbursements for expenditures by committees. For the Senate, it's myself as chair, Ocasio as manager, Favela as manager.
Okay, we have the House, McKelvey, Nakashima, Wildberger, co-chairs, manager Ward.
Okay, on this one, I think we're pretty close. Yeah, we're pretty close.
This is the housekeeping one, isn't it? 402?
Pretty much. This is the one that makes it so that when you can reimburse somebody other than the candidate for expenditures for the campaign.
Yeah, you have to itemize it, yeah.
And trace it back to the final purchase as opposed to just the volunteer, whoever's doing it for you.
Yeah.
So let's see.
When we talked about it, we agreed that because in essence, it's kind of a housekeeping measure just to put a clean date in it.
Yeah. Looks like you have Finn though.
Yeah, we have to get Finn released. So you want to check on back on 245?
245 on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. 245 Wednesday, the 21st. In this room, 325. Okay. Brings us to 404, SB 404. This is relating to electioneering communications. And for the Senate, it's myself as chair, Lee is manager, Favela is manager.
Okay, let's see, House McKelvey Nakashima co-chair, Dale Kobayashi, Tokyo Ward managers.
Yeah, I think we're probably okay with the House version of it, except we need a good date. Do you mind if we roll this to?
No, not at all, but I do believe we were amenable to going to the 5K.
You were amenable to going to?
Yeah, because of and then we, of course, wanted the HD2 in there because this is one of our dark money bills, trying to address that problem. So,
okay.
We're fine with 5K and the HD2 if you are. Clean date, tech amendments potentially.
Okay.
Okay, Wednesday, 2:45?
Yeah, let's if it's okay, we'll.
Yeah, we'll do one more scan through, just talk story with people, find out,
okay,
if this looks good for your members, and we'll do the same on our end. So.
Okay, so for April 21st, Wednesday, in this room, 325 at 2:45 p.m. Okay, that brings us to SB 405 relating to campaign spending contributions. It's about out-of-state contributions, I believe. And for the Senate, it's myself as chair, Kale Kalole as manager, and Favela as manager.
Okay, on behalf of the House, McKelvey, Matayoshi, Wildberger co-chairs, the Cooney Ward manager.
Okay. Yeah, we're just a defective date apart. So I insist on the date of.
Well, this is the Linda Lingle bill. I mean, this closes the loophole that was created when we made the the out-of-state contribution. So, with the Senate considering naming it the Linda Lingle? I'm just kidding, everybody. Yeah, we're good with that, but we need fin release. So if you want to roll to Wednesday, we'll put a memo in.
Yeah, sure. 4/21, 3/25. Now, do you guys? I'm sorry, at 2:45 p.m. Do you guys need an actual draft, or
you know what? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll just talk story with we'll memo the finance chair through our manager here. Sorry, co-chair, my bad. And then we'll see if there's any concern from then. Hopefully by Wednesday we'll get the thumbs up from our co-chair over here.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right.
Gavel us out, sir. I believe that's it, right?
That concludes that agenda. Thank you. Thank you. Next up on the 3 o'clock agenda is the judiciary budget for the Senate. It's myself as chair and Senator Dela Cruz as chair and Favela as manager.
On behalf of the House, it's myself and Representative Luke as co-chairs and Representative Ward as manager.
Thank you. It appears that we have all reached an agreement on this, so I'll go ahead and read some of the changes if that's okay, or what the CD1 will contain, some of the highlights, and I think we're ready to go, yeah? Okay. So for Judd 101 Courts of Appeal, it'll be $7,679,808 in general funds for fiscals 22 and 23. For Judd 310 First Judicial First Circuit, 83 million in general funds roughly, and I don't know, do I need to read all this? You guys have this already, right?
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay. So I'll just summarize. 83 million for First Circuit in fiscal 22 and 23, 4.5 in special funds for 22 and 23. The first was general funds. Second Circuit general funds is 17 million and change in 22 and 23. And Judd 330, Third Judicial Circuit, 20.7 in general funds in 2020, fiscal 22 and 23. Judd 350, 8 million in general funds for 22 and 23. Again, these are approximations. Judd 501, Judicial Selection Committee, 101, 194. That's not an approximation in general funds for fiscal 22 and 23. Judd 601 for administration, 26.8 million roughly in general funds for 22 and 23. A little over 8 million in special funds for fiscals 22 and 23. 343,261 in revolving funds for 22 and 23. And then an investment capital will be 14.7 roughly in fiscal 22 and 2.2 million in fiscal 23. It'll also be 1.5 million and change from American Rescue Plan Act funds for fiscal 22 and a little over 2.5 million in American Rescue Plan Funds Act funds for fiscal 22. I think that must mean fiscal 23. And yeah, it's going to be a tough, it has been a tough year for everybody, including the judiciary, and we'll get through it, and this budget will help us do that. So we'll move ahead and do the best we can.
You know, I'd like to also add that funds to domestic violence, 907,659.
Yes, thank you. Okay, are we ready to vote?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Do I have it already? Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It's your ball game. I'm sorry. I opened the committee for you. Should have said something. You want to do it again? You guys can go first this time.
More than happy to listen to you. Okay. For HB 185, HD1, SD1, CD1, co-chair votes aye. Representative Luke. Aye. Representative Ward.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. May I take the vote for the Senate?
Yes, please.
Senator Rhodes.
Aye.
Senator Dela Cruz.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Hey, we have a bill.
Thank you. If you guys want to go on the OHA budget,
Okay. Oh, thank you,
I'm
thank
good.
you. Yeah.
Actually, OHA budget, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no. When he's ready.
So we
Oh.
pretty much agreed to the Senate and then with some other adjustments.
Okay. Okay, so next is HB 204, linked to the budget of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Myself and Representative Luke, co-chairs, and Representative Ward, manager.
And thanks for the Senate. It's myself, Senator Shimabukuro, and Senator Dela Cruz as co-chairs, and Senators Keohokalole and Favela as managers.
Okay, thank you. Senator, on this, I think we pretty much agreed to the Senate version of the bill for the most part.
Yes,
Are you ready to vote?
yes. Oh, no, it's, okay. Yes, ready to vote. So it's
Okay.
2,254,400 in general funds.
Okay. Then I will vote aye. Representative Luke, Representative Ward. May I take the vote for the Senate?
Sure.
Senator Shimabukuro.
Aye.
Senator De La Cruz.
Aye.
Senator Keokalole.
Aye.
And Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay. All right, we have a bill.
All right. Thank you. Yay. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, if I can get the Spurbs approved, that'd be great.
Okay, welcome to the wait a minute. Yes, the 3:30 PM conference on SB 1034 relating to sunshine law boards. For the Senate, it's myself as chair, managers Keiko Kalole and Favela.
Thank you, Chair. For the House, it's Nakashima, Ichiyama co-chairs, and Eli Ward as managers. And we took some initiative, hope you don't mind, and took a stab at drafting a proposed conference draft. So I'm sure you'd like to take some time to look at it.
We did receive it. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll it over for, I don't know, do you want to roll till Wednesday? Is that?
Sure.
Okay. The same time, 3:30?
Yep.
Okay, so 3:30 on Wednesday the 21st in this room, 325.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
That concludes our business. We're in recess. All right, welcome everyone to the 4 o'clock conference. We have 3 bills. We're going to take them out of order. I'm going to do SB 309 and SB 1342, if that's okay, and then we'll do 834 last. First up is SB 309 relating to deep fakes. For the Senate, myself as chair and managers Kim and Favela.
And on behalf of the House, we have myself and Representative Nakashima as co-chairs, Representative Matsumoto as manager.
So there are some differences. I don't know. What do you think at this point?
I think if you have a CD1 that mirrors more of the SD1, we'd be open to that.
Okay,
I don't know that that's going to make the Motion Picture Association that happy, but I think there's a dispute between what they want and whether or not that moots what the prosecutors are trying to achieve.
Okay, we'll put something together. And let's see what's on. Who all's on this one? I don't know. Do you think we can finish it? Think we can get a draft by tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. Why don't we roll till tomorrow? Is that okay?
Sure.
Chair, you have another conference at 4.
Okay. 4:05. 4:05. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So 4:05 tomorrow, which is April 20 in this room, 325.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's see. So skipping on to SB 1342, this is related to illegal gambling. For the Senate, myself as chair, Gabbard and Favela as managers.
And on behalf of the House, we have myself and Representatives Nakashima and Nishimoto as co-chairs, and Representative Matsumoto as manager.
We had some concerns about the language. Let's see if I can find it now. There was an additional intent of advancing gambling activity, which we were a little concerned that would complicate the prosecution because there'd be another item that you would have to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one?
Let's see. I know intent is always difficult. I'm not necessarily wedded to the definition in the House draft 1. It was just that hosting was not defined in the underlying statute, so that was the House's
trying to get around that
potential. Yeah. So I'm not wedded to either. I think this is, as we've talked about, a problem that we'd both like to fix. So if we can make it able to be prosecuted while also narrow enough because it's actually hinged upon, solidly defined terms in the statute, then I'm agnostic as to what that looks like.
Okay, we'll take a crack at a draft and see if we can square the octagon or whatever it is. It doesn't feel like it's quite as bad as squaring a circle, but okay. So shall we roll this till to 4:05 tomorrow as well?
Sure.
Okay.
In this room, yeah.
In this room, 225 and April 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oops, I did this wrong. Okay, skipping back to the middle bill, SB 834, relating to the childlike sex dolls. For the Senate, myself as chair, Ocasio and Favela as managers.
Thank you. For the House, we have myself and Representative Ichiyama as co-chairs and Representative Matsumoto as manager.
Okay. So it's a little unclear. So I think the way that it came out of the House was that 1 to 5 is a Class C felony and 6 6 and more was a Class B felony. But there was some talk about whether just one should only be a misdemeanor. Where were you on that issue?
The House is okay with one being a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So if the Senate wanted to, we could clarify the, I guess it's subpoint B or actually number 2 to say 2 to 5 would be considered a Class C felony.
2 to 5 and 2 to 5 Class C, and then
more
6
than
plus.
5.
Okay. Let me think about it overnight, but I think that's probably fine, and we'll put together a draft. And is rolling till tomorrow at 4:05 okay?
Yes, rolling till tomorrow at 4:05 is fine.
Okay.
Same
And that's
room.
Same room, 325 and April 20th. All right, I believe that is the end of that
you.
agenda. Thank you very much. Recess.